Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany and this is going to be my first YouTube video. I have always had a passion for makeup and just all over, like I'm obsessed with it. I don't feel like you have to wear it all the time, but I feel like it's just a way to make yourself feel very confident, and that's how it is for me. But if you want to know how I get this look, I am using the Peach palette by Too Faced, and I really love it, and I think it does really good like neutral colors, and this is like a warmish like pink color look with like a pinky nude color. So if you want to know how I get this look, please watch and tell me what you think down below. Thank you. Okay, so I thought my camera was recording, but it wasn't. But what I did was I used this it's rose water. I like to spray that on my face before I put my primer on. I just like the way it makes my skin feel. And then what I used for primer was this Too Faced Hangover Primer. I love the way it smells. So, and it's like coconut water base, which I love. So, and I am going to use Born This Way foundation in the shade Pearl. And I'm not going for a really like thick coverage of foundation, so I am going to just use one pump. And then I'm going to use this sponge I got from Ulta. It's dirty, I know, I'm sorry, but I just damped it and I like this. I just haven't really wanted to spend $20 on a beauty blender. So what I like to do is I just honestly dip my sponge in it and just kind of dot it around and just kind of go through and and honestly I think I am going to, I should have grabbed a mirror. Be right back. Okay, so I am just going to blend that into my face, get that full coverage going on, well, light to full coverage. Y'all know what I mean. So, so this is my first video. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous whenever I decided to do this, just because, well, I mean, as you can see, I'm doing it in not so well lit area, but it was worth a shot. Somebody's got to start somewhere, right? And then the forehead, and we're going to try to cover up Mr. Earl and his friend. So, and by Earl I mean the pimple. I don't know if you guys and I don't know, but my camera makes me look really red. I'm not really red, well, this red. But we're gonna try to make it work, yeah. And I always like to put a little bit on my eye, even though I put my concealer on my eye. And obviously I'm gonna have to put just a little bit more on my hand. And just kind of get my nose, and I feel like right here needs a little bit more. So we're just going to do that. I always like to use a smaller mirror sometimes just because like I can actually like see a little bit better as to like where my coverage is and you know, all that fun stuff. It's a little cold here. So I live in Kansas, and for those of you, Kansas has like one of the stupidest like weather. It could be sunny one day and then snowing the next. So, but anyways, moving on. So I'm gonna use my Tarte Shape Tape concealer in Fair, mainly just to kind of like brighten and cover up these little dark circles we have going on. And this is like a really like full coverage like concealer. Ever since I used it, I really haven't been able to put it down. I would think the next best concealer that there is that I really like is the NYX, and I haven't been able to get the shade I need, and I use like the brightest shade, like the 01, and the last time I had to get porcelain, which is more towards like my pale skin tone. So yeah, so I bought this because, well, everybody on the YouTube was talking really highly about it, so I wanted to try it, and I've, you know, fallen in love with it ever since. Okay, so now this might be a surprise to some of you. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit more right here. But I don't really bake. I don't know if you can tell, it doesn't really look like that, but I have really creasy under eyes. Something I wish I would have like felt like I took care of when I was like a little bit younger. But this is what we have to work with. So this is what I have. Okay, I was gonna try to cover up Bob and George, but it's at that point where it's kind of hard to cover it up. It doesn't look too bad. Okay, so what I like to do though is I don't really bake per se, but I use a, where'd it go? I use like a little, oh here it is, this little teardrop one, and I just like to literally put it in my powder and scrape it. And this is the Maybelline Fit Me, and it's in the classic ivory shade, and I literally just like to pack that under here just to kind of get it, because I did put concealer there. So I like to put a little bit on my eyeballs just because I did put some product there. And then I like to take my fluffy brush, which this is a fluffy brush I bought off eBay. It came in a pack and the whole thing just like decided to come apart. But I just gotta like, so I'm just gonna, you know, dust that over my face. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the eyebrows, which I'm gonna try to zoom in to see if you guys can get like a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, so my zoom for some reason focuses on my ears instead of like right here, so this is about as good as we're gonna get with that. But for my brows, I like to use my Anastasia Dip Brow in the color soft brown. And I just like to use this like I got this brush. It's NYX brush, and it has an angle and it has a spoolie on the end. And I just like to have it all in one. So just kind of brush through my brows. Brush through my brows. And then I take my dip brow and just like to dip it in here a few times. Mine is kind of dried out, so let's find a spot that's not so dried out. Here we go. And get some product on the end of that. And I personally like draw in like dramatic because, well, I was not blessed with really thick, lumptuous eyebrows. So we're going to do that. Now when I get to the end, wow, I try to not go as like dark or with as much product, just because, well, you know, it won't look so natural if it's that way. And then I like to run this brush through it. Just kind of like picks up some of that product. And you can see right there, whenever I did that, it kind of took some of the product off, which I am going to fix with concealer later on. So I'm going to go and do the other eyebrow, and then I'll show you how I conceal and get all of this to look put together. Okay, so now that I got them like filled in, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to me, like my eyebrows, this one's always the easiest to, as of this one, as you can tell, like right here, they don't like to match, but I have to remember they're sisters and not twins. Always remember that, because, well, you know how it goes sometimes. So I like to use this e.l.f. brush for concealing out my eyes, or under my eyebrows. And then I like to take some of my Shape Tape concealer that I used earlier, put on the back of my hand, and carve out any mistakes that I have made. And most of the time I try to stick to underneath, because, you know, but I mean, sometimes it just so happens that you have to do the top, which is, in this case, I do have to do the top because you can't really see very well, but I did mess up a little part right there. But then I used the least amount of concealer I possibly can on the top. Just kind of use my finger. And then the other brow, which, I don't know about you guys, but this eyebrow is looking fleeky compared to the other one. So, okay, and then I do take an extra step sometimes to put a little bit of powder into some of the spots on my end of my eyebrow to fill in anything that has like any spots that I've missed. Okay, so after that is all done, I like to just use this clear brow gel, and it's the Maybelline Clear Great Lash, which is just, well, it's not really brow gel. It's a clear mascara, but it works all the same way, you know? So, which I scrape up a lot of it because I have gotten to the point sometimes where I'll not notice that I have so much and I like glob on my eye and it just looks, you know. So I just like to lightly like make sure that my brows stay in place. Same for the other brow. Okay, now on to the eyeballs. So I am going to use this Sweet Peach palette, which I adore. Adore, adore, adore. Love it so much. Now I'm just going to use this fluffy brush that I got from in my Ipsy bag. And it's the Just Blending and Brush, but it's the LAB2. I don't know. And I like to take this color right here, which is White Peach, and I just like to set underneath my underbrow. Oh, let's try this brush. So we're going to use this one, which is something I bought at Walmart. It doesn't really say anything. We're going to set under there. And it's not like shimmery at all. It's pretty matte for the most part. And then I'm going to take this Puree right there. And I am actually going to just go ahead and throw that into like a, right here as a translucent, and just kind of blend, blend, blend. Now, if you're like me and have hooded eyes, so I pretty much just like put that all right here, but when you have hooded eyes, it's almost like you have to do it further up than normal. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more of that color and work that up here. Just the blending and blending. Okay, so I'm going to do that to the other eye. Okay, so now that I got that done, I think I am going to go into, honestly, I'm going to go into this candied peach color, and it's this one right here. It's a really pretty pink color, just to kind of get it like a pink touch to it, because this is going to be more of a, well, I guess you can say it's like a brown into like pink type deal. I don't know how to describe this look. I just know I wanted to do a tutorial on this, and I figure for my first video this might be something, because I have done this look before and I loved it. So, but I'm using this blending brush again. I love this brush. It's one of my favorite brushes I have. And if any of you guys can give me any more recommendations on cheap, like good blending brushes, because I would like to have like more than one. But I do have this other thing but I haven't really used it. So for the lid, I think I'm going to use that Just Peachy, which is right above that other peach that we used, and I'm just going to use my finger. So I'm going to put that on my ring finger and just apply it right here. Okay, I'm gonna add just a little bit more right here. And I am not going to do a wing today just because I feel like this is such like a pretty like on its own that I just don't really want to. But if you guys do want to see a winged liner tutorial, I will be more than happy to do that. So I'm just going to use that same brush that I use for underneath my eyebrows, and I'm going to add that caramel or that candied peach color right under my eye. And what I like to do, and I know some people do it differently, but I like to add the like lighter color and then kind of blend in like that darker color, which was Puree that I had. And I just like to do it because it works better for me. But if you have a different way you do it, then I mean, more power to you. Taking more of that Puree, just kind of really smoke out the bottom. And I think that's good. I'm going to take that candy peach, same for the other eye. Okay, so I'm pretty much done. I'm not going to use any eyeliner, but I do have, I'm going to use mascara, but I don't use falsies. The only time I ever use falsies is when I go out or if I'm like have something really important to do. But so I'm just going to curl my lashes, and this is just the e.l.f. lash curl. Just because I have super straight eyelashes, and I like to make sure they get some curl in their life. So I'm just going to take the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and just apply that on my lashes. And I'm going to also coat my bottom lashes with that. Okay, so that's done for the eyes, and for the rest of my face, I just like to use this Physicians Formula butter bronzer, and this is the light bronzer, which nobody's lying, this stuff smells so amazing. Like, I'm just gonna use this little brush I got from e.l.f. I don't know what it is about my brushes, but none of them like to stay on. So I'm just gonna take some of that and kind of start out that contour. And then what I like to do is, honestly, I like to use my brush I use for my powder and really just kind of like get in there and deepen it. And then of course we gotta get the forehead. And then under the chin, I like just kind of warm up the rest of my face. I do not contour my nose. And then for blush, I'm going to use this Sonia Kashuk blush in called Flush. And honestly, I multi-use this brush, so I'm going to dip that once or twice. And just kind of add a pop of color to my face. And then for highlighter, I am going to use my NYX Strobe of Genius palette, which I've fallen in love with. And I'm going to use that little brush I used for the first part of my contour and just highlight. I love it. And I'm using this shade right here, which doesn't have a name, but I love it. Gotta get the nose, Cupid's bow. Alright, and then I am actually going to use this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Canes. It's a really pretty, like, neutral color. And then I am going to use the Mix Matte Finish spray. I'm just going to spritz that on my face. Okay, and that, guys, is completing the look, and I want to thank you guys for your support and appreciate you watching. I'm hoping to try to do this more. This was just kind of a trial run to see how everything went. If you like this look or want me to do more, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for watching.